Hello everybody! Today we are going to be talking about the books I will be reading in the month of October. So hi, my name is Talia. I love books, I love bandanas, and I'm so glad you're at my channel today. I have an official TBR today. It's been a couple of months since I've gotten my act together enough to do that, so let me just go ahead and show you what I plan to read. First, I am planning to read Eleanor, Oliphant. I never tried to say that, like, even in my head until right now. Oliphant. That's how we'll say it. It's Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. I am buddy reading this with Kelly over at Kelly Reads a Lot. If you don't know Kelly, go check out her channel. I love her so much. So this book is about Eleanor. I'm not going to try to say the last name again. This book is about Eleanor. She's described as having struggling to have appropriate social skills and kind of says whatever pops into her head. She's also described as having like a pretty structured life and kind of lives on frozen pizza and vodka, which just kind of cracks me up right from the beginning. So she kind of leads this sounds like a life where she's kind of alone. And then she meets this IT guy who he's described as the bumbling IT guy from her office whose big heart will ultimately help Eleanor find the way to prepare her own profoundly damaged one. So that leads me to believe she's had some sort of a traumatic experience in her past that has led her to lead the life she currently lives. So yeah, this one's been around for a while. It's kind of been one that I'm like, oh, I should read that for quite a while. So I can't remember how it came to be that we were buddy reading this. I think someone else was talking about it on their channel and we were both commenting, and maybe it was Chatty who was like, you guys should buddy read it. So we were like, okay. So we are. So I'm very excited to read that one. I am also doing another buddy read this month with Tara over at Tara Talks Books. I love her channel as well. It's funny because Tara reads mostly romance books, which I don't really find intriguing at all. We'll just say they're not my favorite. But it's funny because I still love her channel. I love watching her talk about books and how she gets excited about the book she's reading. And it happens that she has read Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik, which is the only Naomi Novik I have read as well, except for a couple short stories. And she was mentioning how much she loved that book, and I was like, I loved that book too. But we both have not read any other novels by Naomi Novik. So we are going to give Uprooted a try. I'm going into this pretty blind. I remember I read the back when just when I purchased this book, just to kind of see what it was about. And remember it sounded good, but I haven't read it since then and I don't remember what it's about. So I'm going in pretty blind. I loved Spinning Silver so much, and I've built this one up in my head that Naomi Novik is amazing. If this book isn't amazing, I'll be disappointed because I really thought that book was well written. So high hopes for this. Okay, also this month, this just came in the mail today. They say don't judge a book by its cover. I totally have. I love this cover. I think this book is going to be the best book ever. Just because it's so beautiful. So As Long as the Lemon Tree Grows by Zoulfa Katouh. This book is set in Syria, and it's about a girl who is in pharmacy school just as the war starts taking place, and she ends up volunteering at a hospital, and it kind of goes from there. It sounds like she has a lot of PTSD that she's experiencing, and she kind of ends up developing this imaginary friend who is helping her decide what to do, because part of her wants to flee the country and part of her doesn't want to flee the country because all her family's there, and she has like a pregnant sister that's there. And it sounds like it just kind of goes from there. So it sounds like a beautiful story. It sounds like a heart-wrenching story. This is Zoulfa's debut novel. And this was my book of the month pick for October. So yeah, we'll see how it is. I'm very curious about this. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, also this month I'm planning to read Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. So ever since I read Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, I've been super curious to see some more science fiction, some of the more current science fiction going on. And Blake Crouch had a Book of the Month book a couple months ago that I did not purchase, but then I was talking over on Discord to other people about Blake Crouch. I can't remember who, but a few different people recommended this. And then I've been seeing it on BookTube on a couple other channels too, that this is a very good Blake Crouch novel, sci-fi novel. So the main character is knocked out basically and kidnapped and wakes up, and his life is no longer how his life was. Like, his wife isn't his wife, his son is gone, and he's not just a college professor anymore. He is like someone super high up in the scientific community who's made this impressive discovery, but he doesn't recall any of it. So yeah, he has like these two parallel worlds, and he doesn't really know like which one's his real world and which one's his fake world. It's kind of like Matrixy is what it reminds me of. But yeah, so it goes from there, and I've had this one sitting on my shelves for a couple months, so I am excited to check that one out as well. I feel like I have a good like combo of books this month. Like, we have the sci-fi and the like realistic kind of tearjerker and some fantasy and just a regular novel, so I feel pretty good about those. Also, one book that is on my radar this month is The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Bronte. This I want to read as a part of Victober, which is where you read Victorian books in October. I learned about this from Sandy's channel, and I'm sorry, I should have looked up the original creators of Victober before I started filming, but I didn't. I will put their information below in the description. But basically, there's all these prompts that you can do to meet requirements for Victober. Sandy is not following the prompts. She's just reading The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, and I felt like that was manageable for me. However, I am waiting for the audiobook because I have found that for books of that time period, it just goes a little more smoothly for me if I am listening to it. So I have it on hold at the library. If it comes in time, I'm gonna listen to it. We'll see if I get it in October. If it's like past October, I'll probably just drop it. But I would like to participate. And I just found out about it, like October had already started. So I'll try to be more organized for next year because I think Victober sounds amazing. Also, this month I am reading Mexico, Margaritas, and Murder, and that's by Wendy Day. And that is a book about a woman named Sally, and she loses her husband, I think of like 40 years. Her husband passes away. She's obviously distraught, doesn't know what to do. So she ends up going on a vacation with her best friend to Mexico, where they start out having just like a normal vacation, and then a murder happens at the hotel and they try to solve the murder. It's funny because I think I was drawn to this because I am just wrapping up the Thursday Murder Club right now as well, which is about these four people who live in a retirement community and are trying to solve murders. However, it is not quite up to par with that at all. It's all right, but it's not very good. So I think actually maybe I'll do like a compare and contrast between those, because there's like kind of the same premise, like elderly people trying to solve murders, and like, but one is done really well. Like Thursday Murder Club is amazing, so well written, and Mexico Margaritas, whatever it's called, it's just not. Just not. I'm like halfway through right now, so we'll see if it gets better. I mean, it's cute enough for me to keep going, but it just doesn't pull you in like Thursday Murder Club does. So that's kind of disappointing, but I have enough good stuff going on this month that I think will be okay. So that is all. It's pretty short and sweet today. I hope you're doing well. I hope you take some time today to read a good book or two. And if you are having a bad hair day, just wear a bandana. Bye.